We're going to see at the end of this year if Matthew Stafford is truly a top 3 quarterback.
You realize that Russell Wilson has played with players greater than Matthew Stafford still hasn't even played with. You understand that, right? So you don't sit there and just say that,
he did. He played with Calvin Johnson level receiver, did he?
Yeah. Name 5 players that he played with that are like.
If Russell Wilson was in a dome with Calvin Johnson, they would have made the playoffs a few times. I don't care if me and you were on defense.
He did make the playoffs. He did make the playoffs. They didn't always win it.
Did they win a playoff game? Welcome back to Raw Sports Debate. I'm your host, Michael Steven, along with my co-host, Leslie. About to have a dynamic episode today where we're going to preview the 2022 NFL season. We're going to go division by division. We're going to pick Super Bowl winners, talk about top 3 MVP candidates, and then we're going to go top 3 by position throughout the league. Without further ado, let's get rolling on picking divisional winners of each conference. So let's start with the NFC. Les, who you got winning each division?
Winning each division. So I'm definitely going to ruffle some feathers here. To start with, I'll start with the NFC East. I think the Eagles are going to win that division. They brought in some players to, benefit Jalen Hurts. We know what the Dallas Cowboys will always bring to the table. They're going to bring the nice uniforms, the talking owner, and then, great players that, come playoff time are going to not be available. So
are you forgetting the cheerleaders, bro?
And very hot cheerleaders too. So if you think about all of the Cowboys will always look good. It's always this year, but it's not. Anybody that does something better in that division, as in any add-ons, I always give them a head nod. Even the Washington Commanders. I think Carson Wentz is gonna give him like a either 7-10 season or a 10-7 season, one or the other. That's Carson Wentz for you. But I strongly believe, the Eagles are going to win that division. Also, when we go to the NFC South, I think the Buccaneers, and Brady are still going to be on the roll and still take that division, if you ask me, frankly. Also, NFC North. Unfortunately, the Vikings, even though they have great talent, Kirk Cousins can't seem to get the job done. And, Rodgers owns the NFC North. He's going to take that crown one more time. And surprisingly, the 49ers, we're going to take the NFC West division. Mark that down, okay? I know the Rams are going to be good, but we're going to win that division. Division winners, absolutely. We're going to win that division.
All right.
Your thoughts?
Those are good picks. I vehemently disagree with your 49er pick.
You think the Rams are going to have a better record than us or win that, they're going to have a better division record? I think the Niners will have a better division record than the Rams.
Yeah, but you're picking the Niners to win the division, the whole division. Yeah. All right, yeah. That's cool. I think the Niners have drafted incredibly well over the last 10 years, and they've been awesome, even despite their problems with the quarterback position. But I think they're going to take a step downward. I'm going to pick
so. Okay.
A little bit. Yeah, I'm picking the Rams. I'm picking the Rams to win that division. I agree with you with the Bucs and Packers as much as I, want there to be some new blood. I think that the Vikings are pretty good. I think they're going to make the playoffs, but I'm picking the Packers to win that division. And the Bucs, I don't think they're going to be quite as dominant as the last couple of years, but I'm still picking them to win it. I'm going to roll with Dallas. My wild card teams are Philly, because I agree with you. I think they got a good overall team. Their line is good. The defense is better. I keep forgetting the quarterback's name. Jalen Hurts?
Hurts, yes, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I forgot last time too. Jalen, I think he's got a lot of talent. I'm look forward to watching him for a full season. And I also think that Cardinals are going to make the playoffs. I think the Niners are going to sit this one out, and it'll be all right. You'll be back next year. But
I respect that. I still think, 3 teams are going to come out of that division this year. I think the Niners will squeeze their way through to get in and go beat the number 1 seed in the NFC, if I'm being honest. But yeah, like, let's put all jokes aside. I think I might give it to. Yeah, Lance is gonna do his thing, but if we're being honest, I think Cardinals. I pick Cardinals. I take it back. Let me not be a fanboy on this. Cardinals winning the NFC West, but yeah, the Niners will make the. I can never pick the Rams to do anything, bro. Then that has nothing to do with anything. I just don't trust them certain times, but I do got some of their players in my picks today. So yeah.
Okay, so who you got? You got the Niners making the playoffs.
My super wild card team, the Niners. And then I got Cardinals for the West, Packers for the North, Eagles for the East, and then the Bucks for the South.
Who are your other 2 playoff teams?
Other 2 in the NFC, I'll go with other 2. Quite frankly, the Rams are coming in for sure. Rams gonna be there. Rams, Niners, and I think the Saints. The Saints. Rams, Niners, Saints. Those 3.
All right, I like it. All right, so
what about AFC?
Well, no, let's finish. Let's finish the NFC. Who's gonna make a Super Bowl? Who you got?
Super Bowl. I got this year's Super Bowl. I'll tell you what, let's start with the NFC championship.
Okay.
I think it's going to be the Cardinals are going to make it there this year. I think they're going to make a lot of noise this year. Cliff Kingsbury with another year under his belt. They're going to do some wonders. They're going to do much. I think it's going to be a divisional game. It's going to be the Rams and the Cardinals. NFC championship.
Rams
like it was Rams and the 49ers. It's going to be, because NFC, I tell you, that division is still rocking. NFC West is still taking over for sure.
The Rams are going to win some road playoff games and get to face the Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals is going to be number 1,
And you're picking the Cardinals to make a Super Bowl or the Rams?
Hard one. We'll get back to that.
All right.
Go ahead.
I'll go. All right. So I think, because I like to do things all the way here. So 1 seed Rams, 2 seed Packers, 3 seed Cowboys, 4 seed Bucks. And then I got Vikings 5, Cards 6, Eagles 7. All right. So I'm going to go with Packers over the Eagles, Cardinals over the Cowboys, Bucks over the Vikings. And then I got the Rams over the Cardinals in the second round. Packers over the Bucks. Rodgers pulls out a stunner.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Brady. And then, because it's Rodgers, Rams beat the Packers.
So you got Rams going back.
Rams going back. That's
Rams going back. I got the Cardinals going this year. It's in the car. Listen, so this is my trend, right? Past 2 years. 2 years ago was in Tampa. The Bucks won. Last year was in LA. Rams won. This year's in Arizona. I think Cardinals are gonna go for it. And not even because of that, little superstition. I'm that nonsense I'm talking about, but purely because I think their team is gonna, step up. Last year they started great. They started 10-0 and then, had some miscommunication on offense and, with certain plays and things like that. I think this year they're gonna be even better. James Conner is going to be firing up and they're going to be rolling this season. Well, let's move to the AFC. Who do you got?
All right. I'll go with my 1 through 7 again. All right. Chiefs, number 1 seed. Bills, number 2 seed. Ravens, number 3 seed. And Titans taking the South, number 4 seed. I got the Broncos, the wild card spot. Then the Bengals and the Chargers. Those are my 7 teams.
Wow, so you got 3 coming out of
the West. Poor Derek Carr.
West.
No play for Derek Carr.
Okay. I can see that. And who's going to the championship games?
Well, I think the Bills, Ravens, and Broncos take care of business in the first round. And then we got a Broncos Chiefs second round classic. Broncos are going to take that on the road. And then the Bills are going to play the Ravens. Another great matchup. Bills are going to take that. And then, like I said last month, Broncos over Bills. Broncos ride in the 5 seed all the way to the Super Bowl. Gonna take us some time to get acquainted. Chiefs get the division. Broncos come back and ride it up there. And Russell Wilson gets to go back to the place where he threw his most famous pass in Arizona. Thank you for reminding me that.
So you got Rams and the Broncos doing this thing this year.
As of right now.
I like that. I highly disagree with a lot of those, but let me tell you mine. I got the Bills coming out of the East. I still got the Chiefs making it out of the West. Tennessee out of the South, and then I'll give it to the Ravens in the North. And I think I got Bills and, Cincinnati making the playoffs for sure. Chargers making the playoffs for sure. And then my last wild card team to squeeze in, I think I'm going to have to go with Denver. Russ got some weapons this year, and he hasn't been in a system where they just want him to, take control. And he's older, wiser, aging like fine wine. So this year, I think he's going to do his thing. But unfortunately, he might meet like the Chiefs and, get out of the first round and come back stronger next year for sure. But I got the Bills, making it to the championship game for sure. The Bills and the Chiefs back again. And then the Bills making it this time. I think it's the revenge game for the Bills. I think the Chiefs are going to be better than last year. I know they don't have Tyreek Hill, but they got a lot other over average players at the wide receiver position. Marcus Valdes-Scantling, Juju Smith. Those two are individually not better than Tyreek Hill, but two of them might bring you more than one Tyreek Hill, if you get what I'm saying.
And like we talked about with the line, if they're able to solidify the offensive line and give Mahomes 3, 5, 7 seconds on a consistent basis, that's better than Tyreek Hill, because Tyreek Hill is a deep threat, but Mahomes is a deep threat. Mahomes himself is a deep threat because he's got that ridiculous arm. So I do think they're going to be awesome, but I don't know, man. At some point that reign of dominance has to end. I don't think they're going to make another Super Bowl right now. I think Mahomes eventually makes it back, but man, other teams are coming.
Yeah, I get it. And like I said, Chargers, you got the Chargers definitely making it, Broncos making it. And, teams that also I think are going to miss it. Top 3 teams that are, that were in the playoffs last year that I don't think are going to make it this year. And then also 3 teams that, didn't make it last year that you think could possibly make it as well.
So I guess I have the Raiders. Raiders made it, right? I'm flipping them out with the Broncos. I'm putting the Chargers in because they got a nasty defense, some young pieces there. Herbert, I mean, he's got a great arm, great numbers, but maybe he's going to be Phillip Rivers, where he loses a lot of close games. That's something that we no bias at all. It's just that is what it is. I love watching him play, but
I think that kid is going to be top 5 this year. Possible. He has insane weapons. His offense is just, Cali Bay. They're going to be great.
Did the Ravens make it last year?
The Ravens missed it last year.
Yeah. I'm picking them. And I know how much you love the Steelers. And the Steelers are, they're always competitive, like we know with Mike Tomlin. But I think, they got some great pieces, but I'm not picking them to make it this year. And yeah, I mean, the Patriots are always a threat. I'm just trying to think. The Raiders, like I mentioned earlier, I think they'll be close. I think that division is going to be real tight.
Yeah.
I just think that as good as Carr is, he's somewhere in the 10 to 15 range of quarterback. It's just not quite where
Absolutely.
Where he needs to be. What do you
I
think?
agree with you with the Patriots one. I think the Patriots are going to take a little bit of a step back this year. They're not going to make the playoffs. Um, I also do think the Raiders. I live here in Vegas, and I'm tired of hearing about them. They're not going to make it, so I can be a little bit happy talking smack to my clients at work. And also the Steelers, not having that solid quarterback. I mean, we know Mike Tomlin. I love Mike Tomlin, not the Steelers, but I love Mike Tomlin because he's never had a losing season. He always make it, happen, whether he has a great quarterback or not. No Big Ben, which should have been dead 4 years ago, and now with these young guys, I think they're gonna take a little bit of a step back, and they might go, you know.
9-8.
They're yeah,
8-9. Maybe.
9-8. I could see that, something like that,
Yeah.
but still, barely, missing the playoffs.
And they got Harris, that running back, had a great year, and he's primed for a huge season.
Yeah, Najee Harris is amazing. Najee Harris has been great since
This
college.
is the running back's prime, right? Like years like 1, 2, 3, 4 before they get all those hits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Chris Johnson, and they start early. Yeah, I think he's going to have but you listen, man, like running backs were more dominant and more important for a team winning in the 80s, 90s, early thousands. Now it's a quarterback driven league.
It is a quarterback.
Like look at Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, I mean, even him, it's like he can get that team. He can help grind out wins. But if a quarterback don't play well, no playoff wins.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson, same thing. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, but Denver making it for sure. Denver gonna be the Ravens.
It might be an adjustment period. There might be an adjustment period with Denver.
Lamar is also coming back for the Ravens. Denver. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Because that team, they had a lot of hurt running backs, a lot of hurt cornerbacks as well, too. So those two teams are definitely going to come back. Well, we just think about it this way. Drew Lock and other quarterbacks that played for Denver last year that I don't even remember off the top of my head, they were, how many games? 3-4 games behind. So if you have a guy like Wilson, him alone just adds 5 wins to the team, So those two teams definitely are going to head back to the playoff. But yeah, other than that, I honestly think this year the winner is still coming from AFC. I lied, NFC.
So you're picking Cardinals over the Bills? You're picking?
We didn't go there yet. I told you.
Who are you picking to win the Super Bowl? Tell me.
So this year, well, before I answer this, I'm going to just even answer my next, question for you as well, which is, MVP candidates, top 3. I'm just going to tell you the winner. I'm going with Josh Allen. I've been saying this for 2 years now, that this is going to be his year, and this is going to be his year. So I'm going with the Bills winning it, and Josh Allen, Super Bowl MVP and regular season MVP as well.
No top 3, just Josh Allen.
I'm going to go with the top 3. I'm definitely going with Josh Allen, Nick Bosa, and Josh Allen, Nick Bosa, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
My top 3 NFL MVP candidates. A quarterback, a running back, and,
I can't. It's tough. MVP's tough. I don't think we talk about it today at the gym. I would say I do agree with you with Josh Allen.
Okay.
I do feel like it's his time. He's had 2 great years in a row, and I feel like he's just going to build off that. And if I was a betting man, he'd be my pick for MVP. Mahomes would be second. And I don't know, man. Like, I'm going to say Russell third, but considering he's never gotten a vote, I don't think he's going to win the award. But I think in terms of deserving, again, if they go 11-6, and like you said, they win 5 games, that is the definition 4 or 5 more games, that's the definition of an MVP. But it also depends how you win the games and what numbers you have. So I'm just trying to think of other guys who could possibly be in that conversation. I don't think they're going to give it to Rodgers, regardless of what he does. Let me think. Yeah, I'm just going to go with Allen. Allen, Mahomes, and then, kind of like Russ.
So you think it's going to be 3 QBs up there?
I just, yeah. Because a running back has to do so much. Like Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris, these guys, it's possible. Even Derrick Henry, although, he's got a lot of tread in his tires. It's tough for a running back. They have to have an unbelievable season. Like they got to have 2,000 rushing yards, like 2,500 all-purpose yards, 20 touchdowns just to be in the conversation. So I just think those 3 are the safest picks, but I absolutely could see, hey, Stafford having a big year now that he's all confident. And, Leslie picked him, as the best quarterback in the NFC a couple months ago. Maybe he's really excited about that. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's possible, but I'm just saying that, at gunpoint, those are my 3.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that one. I can't disagree, because again, it's just a prediction.
I hate agreeing with you, but
I understand.
Josh Allen is the pick.
Yeah, Josh is the guy.
And Mahomes, hey, listen, Mahomes he's got, people talking trash. Well, one guy said Tyreek Hill, 2 was more accurate. And then Sammy Watkins is saying, Rodgers is a whole another level. I'm sure it was taken out of context because that's what the media does. But, hey, Patrick Mahomes is another level, all right? Patrick Mahomes probably has more double-digit comebacks than Aaron Rodgers does already.
Yeah.
Right? He probably does. I don't have to look it up. It's true, probably.
That I can tell you one thing. If Rodgers is playing a team that's over 500 and he's down by more than 3 in the second half, he's out of 10. He's at best 3 for 10.
Best 1. Yo, and
at best,
Mahomes had some nasty comebacks in a couple of the Super Bowl runs where they were down heavy, like that Titans game. I think that's something that, of course, Rodgers knows the game at a better level than Mahomes. He's 10 years older, at least. He's obviously sees the game much more cerebral, but Mahomes just has that never say die, cocky attitude, but like more of like in a team-oriented fashion.
Yeah.
And as great as Rodgers is, I just think that he doesn't have that leadership trait. So that's why I think Mahomes is going to hear these shots and he's going to come firing, man. I see another great year from him.
For sure. Well, now we're going to the best and the most interesting part about today's, conversation, which is the best 3 at each position. We're going to start with the offense and then we'll go to defense. All right. Which one you want to start? You want to go with the offense? I'll start with the defense.
Start defense.
We all want to know what you got cooking. I'll go first and I'll start with the defense.
Yeah, let's go defense.
Defensive tackle, defensive end, linebackers, cornerbacks, and safeties. All right,
let's go one at a time. D tackle. Let's go. What do you got?
D tackle. I got Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald on the Rams. DeForest Buckner. Colts, and then Chris Jones for the Chiefs. Their numbers speak for itself, and of course the eye test as well. If you watch the game, I didn't purposely go with these 3 based on their stats, sacks, anything like that, but just their sole purpose, like their impact in the game. When Aaron Donald is in the game. Every time, whether it's a pass play, run play. Same with Chris Jones. You remember 3 years ago, in the Super Bowl 29 against the 49ers, you can feel this guy, DeForest Buckner, he was doing it with the Niners before he already went there. So yeah, absolutely. These 3 are my top 3. Just missing out Cameron Hayward as well on the Steelers. We didn't forget you, Mr. Big Guy. All right.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, those are my top 3 at the defensive tackle position. For sure.
Aaron Donald. I'll go Chris Jones and Cameron Hayward would be my 3.
Okay.
Can't forget about Jonathan Allen, Jeffrey Simmons, Buckner, like you said, but Aaron Donald is number one, obviously. He's going to, at some point, he's got to slow down. But listen, he stops. He's an interior lineman that gets double-digit sacks, puts pressure on the quarterback at a great rate, stops the run game, demands double teams. And if that wasn't enough, he's got to make all these like super clutch plays to close out playoff games. So he's, in my opinion, not as valuable as Lawrence Taylor. He's not the best defensive player to ever walk the earth, in my opinion, but he is an all-time great player, absolutely. Obviously. Let's just chill with the LT talk, all right? LT, Reggie White, and then Donald's third.
Well, defensive end, who you got?
All right. TJ Watt, obviously huge year last year. Nick Bosa, your boy on the Niners, the younger Bosa.
Yeah.
And Myles Garrett. I like him because he's got a crazy temper. He's got a great mustache, and he's a great basketball player. So
amazing basketball player.
That's the tiebreaker for me. Joey Bosa, the older one. He's obviously a dope player for the Chargers. Cameron Jordan, another great guy. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Watt, Bosa, and Garrett.
All right. I think, like I said, he's going to be an MVP candidate this year. I'm going with Nick Bosa. I'm going with TJ Watt. He might still lead the league in sacks, and then also I'm going with Chandler Jones. Just got traded or picked up by, the Raiders as well, along with Devontae Adams. They're going to be a rock this season. They're going to do amazing things, But other than that, now moving forward, we'll go to, the linebacker position. With the linebacker position, I got Darius Leonard, amazing linebacker. I got Fred Warner, and then, of course, the vet, Bobby Wagner. Those three are still going to be running it. Yeah. Bobby Swag's going to be on the Rams. It's going to be a problem. The Rams are only going to get better. It's going to be insane. That's why, I got them going back to the NFC Championship game. But yeah, those are my three for the linebacker position. Levante Smith, I ain't forget you. We know how you coming.
I think Bobby Wagner will be top three against the Seahawks in those two games. But I'm going to put him as an honorable mention here. I appreciate the great Bobby Wagner. I'm going to go with Micah Parsons on Dallas.
Okay.
Fred Warner, another 49er. And Darius Leonard. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Parsons, he was a DN. He got moved. That kid is dynamic. He is amazing for the Dallas Cowboys. That's one thing, Jerry. I know you probably had something to do with this call. We always disagree with what you got to say. We always think you should let the coaches and the GMs do their job. But if you did this one, Jerry, kudos. You did your thing on this one for sure. But now let's move to the cornerback positions. Who you got?
Jalen Ramsey. He's still hanging on at that top spot until further notice.
Okay.
I don't think he's quite the level he was a couple years ago, but
you think he's still the number one guy?
I'm still picking him number one.
Absolutely.
Marshawn Lattimore on the Saints.
Okay.
And Trayvon Diggs on Dallas. Honorable mention to who's that guy in the Pats?
On the Pats.
J.C. Jackson.
Oh, he's with the Chargers this year, actually.
He's with the Chargers.
Got picked up. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, J.C.
Jackson
the Chargers
is
amazing.
Damn.
Oh, I'm telling you, the Chargers.
I didn't know about that
this
move.
year.
All right.
Yeah. It happened late this free agent period. But yeah, those three. I like that three actually, but none of them are even on my list.
Oh boy.
I'm going with Jair Alexander. On the Packers. I think this guy played phenomenal. He was he was the best corner last year. 2 years ago, he had a case as well. I think it's him and Ramsey neck to neck. You can't go wrong with either or. And I got Ramsey at 2 and then Xavier Howard on the Dolphins at 3. Man, last year, 10 picks. You can't beat that. 10, 11 picks. It's hard to, get those kind of numbers in today's game with how smart these quarterbacks are, and how athletic they are,
And I think Diggs had 11 picks, but it's not always the picks you get.
Diggs blew up many, many, many plays than anything, bro.
Yeah.
Diggs was great. He had a lot of picks. He had a lot of, balls going the other way when the pressure was on him, he was backpedaling a lot. He trusted his athleticism and his speed too much that he lost focus. If you ask me, Diggs is amazing, but he's not the most disciplined cornerback. Game on the line, I'd take Jair Alexander, Darius Slay on the Eagles. These guys over Trayvon Diggs for sure. But he is amazing, top 10. And
you can't always go. You know this. You can't always go by picks because sometimes quarterbacks don't take shots at you.
Yeah.
The old.
And then sometimes you might have had.
He's got that part locked down. Let's just go somewhere else. Or Richard Sherman even, in his peak. You would just avoid him after he got a couple of, 2 years with a bunch of picks. They just avoided him.
Yeah. And those are the reason and things that make you, the number one and that guy. So the picks by Diggs, I wasn't really the most impressed by that.
Right.
I was impressed in the beginning of the year because he came out, playing like he's been in the league before.
Yeah, he killed it in the beginning. Yeah.
In the beginning for sure. I definitely got to give him that props and respect for that. And then on the defensive side, we're going to end with the safeties, the coverage safeties, strong safeties, all of that together. But your top 3.
Darwin James, Justin Simmons, and Kevin Byard.
Okay, Kevin Byard on the Tennessee Titans. You don't hear his name a lot. That's
that dude was good, man.
He does look good.
Yeah. Am I missing anybody? I know Cincinnati had a couple of. They have a good safety.
Yeah, Bates. Bates is amazing. I'm
just trying to think of all the playoff teams.
Bates is amazing. What's the guy on the Bills? I forgot his name, but he's great as well. Reed, who's now with the Chiefs, is good as well. Young up and coming. They both Reeds, but I'm gonna go with Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm.
Minkah Fitzpatrick is amazing. I think he could do it all. Cover, man, he's one of those young dynamic guys that in the beginning he was very misunderstood because he wanted to win so bad he got traded. And of course you see, the value that he brought to his new team. The Steelers, Miami Dolphins wasn't winning, and coming from Alabama, that boy won them all. I can only respect that. But in today's game, you want to trade, you want out things like that. You look this as a villain. But I like Minkah Fitzpatrick, definitely my favorite safety in the league right now as we speak. Justin Simmons on the Denver on Denver is amazing as well too, and then I'll go with my third, Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams and Derwin James both neck to neck. I'm dropping Derwin James only because of injuries. Injuries nagging. But also he got a big contract coming in. Highest paid safety, so I think he's gonna put that cape on and let you guys know who runs it. I think
he's coming Justin back. Simmons. As a newfound Bronco. Supporter as I am now.
I can see that.
Hey, and also the Honey Badger. Tyrann
the Honey
Matthew.
Badger is out of my top 5 right now.
He is. I just shout out to him because I think he's
I ain't a fan of the Honey Badger. I loved him in college, but he came to the NFL.
But you've been rooting against him since.
Exactly. I mean, there's some players. It's hard. You go to a certain team, and I'm like,
cool hair.
Now I can't do it no more,
You just want his hair, because you haven't hit the barbershop in a while. So
I haven't, but man, when you feel, very confident, and you just rock anything, brother. You just rock anything, and the ladies appreciate it, as we always talk about, man.
Obviously.
But now we're going to move on to the offensive side, man.
Oh, boy.
We're going to start with the quarterbacks. Who do you got? Which nonsense do you have for our listeners and myself tonight?
Nonsense. The top 3 quarterbacks in the league are Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Josh Allen. Honorable mention to 95-year-old Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Honorable mention.
Okay.
And, you know.
You going to mention all of them?
Forget the rest of them. Forget the rest of them.
Okay, so
that's
that's
the top five. I will hear no other top five besides that. Go ahead. Who you got?
You said your three is No, you got Brady and Rodgers as your honorable mention, but you went with who? 3, Josh Allen, 2, Wilson, and 1, Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Weak, but not bad.
1,
I go with Josh Allen. 2, definitely Mahomes, because of his team. 3, I go with Matthew Stafford. I think he played Rodgers in so many games. Rodgers beat him, but that situation is not going to happen for the next 5 years. Rodgers is going to beat him for the next, he's going to beat Rodgers for the next 5 years. Why? Because now he's in a better situation than Rodgers is, and I think my man is again, after 2 back-to-back MVPs, he might take a little bit of a step back, honorable mention, Lamar Jackson, he's doing his thing. He's going to come back and show the world, So yeah, that's my top 3 coming into this season. And then I said honorable mention goes to Lamar. Once MVP, he actually has won an MVP. So, you put him top 3 and all of that, it makes sense. Won some playoff games as well too. So yeah.
He won 1. As we talked about, he's underrated nationally right now. So I'm on board with him. But, I wear this shirt for you, Les, because, we talk about Stafford, which I should have known you were going to say.
You told me to tell me what I want to. I told you. You listen, that shirt ain't got nothing to do with shit.
If Sean McVay ever got a hold of Russell Wilson, all right, that would be next level, because it was one of those games like in 2019, and I'm watching it, and because it's Pete Carroll, he throws away a couple possessions trying to establish the run. He does this. He doesn't listen. He doesn't go for it on 4th and 1.
Blame the coach. You cannot always blame the coach, right?
Let the same point before you attack. So listen, I'm blaming Russell.
You're offended by Wilson not being in this top 4. That's why you got something to say. It's nonsense. We knew it was coming. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm just trying to make you laugh. Listen, when one coach is aggressive and smart and innovative, and the other one is old school, throws away possessions, and doesn't go for it on 4th and 1 when his quarterback and team is on fire, right? There was a game. They beat the Rams 30-29. I'll never forget this. 30-29, and they needed a missed kick at the end to pull out the win. And Russell played as well of a game of football as you could possibly pay. And that's where it's like, that's why this started trending on Twitter around that time. It was like, yo, if you just threw the ball 5-10 more times, you would have won the game by 10. Those are the kind of games, Les, why there was a breakup and why it's like, yo, I got to go to Denver. I got to go somewhere else. And it's like, Matt Stafford is a very good quarterback who looked great last year. But we see what Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan do to these quarterbacks. And now
I understand.
So that's my long-winded way of saying, like, let's be careful here. All right. We're going to see at the end of this year if Matthew Stafford is truly a top 3 quarterback.
You realize that Russell Wilson has played with players greater than Matthew Stafford still hasn't even played with. You understand that, right? So you don't sit there and just say that,
he did. He played with Calvin Johnson level receiver, did he?
Yeah. Name 5 players that he played with that are like.
If Russell Wilson was in a dome with Calvin Johnson, they would have made the playoffs a few times. I don't care if me and you were on defense.
He did make the playoffs. He did make the playoffs. They didn't always win it. But I'm going to ask you this. You put Russell Wilson in that division and in that situation, I don't know how it's going to go. I know it's going to be great, but I don't know if he's going to have 5K every fucking year. Go look at Stafford. Listen, I don't know that. I don't know that if Stafford had a defense not as good as, what's it called? And look at where it took them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I absolutely believe that, you shouldn't be hurt. But actually, I'll take this back. The Denver Broncos is not going to make the playoffs, actually. I think the Patriots are going to
I
be.
want you to pick against them so that you're more wrong.
Patriots, Chargers are going to make it. No Denver. I take that back. Denver is out.
Listen,
Denver is not going to make it.
Why would you think that I would be hurt? I'm entertained.
You're hurt.
I'm entertained by your comically wrong opinions.
To bring. You know what's actually crazy? I didn't mention Aaron Rodgers, and he's won back-to-back MVPs, and you still didn't be like, oh, let's slow down.
You mentioned Rodgers. You're like, he's going to take a step back.
You felt the need to bring up Russ. Listen, I'm not the only one who's going to call you out. When we're done, go check the comments. You have people calling you out on this nonsense. We knew this nonsense was going to come up, but it's all good. It's all good.
You wanted this nonsense to come. You want me to rip on Rodgers? I already did rip on Rodgers. I already told you.
You don't need to rip on no Rodgers. See, when it comes to Rodgers, it's let's rip on. When it comes to Russ, let Russ cook. He ain't got nothing to cook. He ain't got no seasoning in him.
I'll rip him right now.
Seasoning.
He should have told Pete Carroll to fuck himself.
I already told you what it is. Okay?
All right. He should have told Pete Carroll to fuck himself many years ago. All right? There.
But because of how soft he is, that never happened. But anyway, we'll move on to the running back position because I can't have you sitting here talking about Russell Wilson when this is
Marshawn Lynch.
My picks. Okay? Don't attack the sender. But anyway, we move on to the running back positions. Okay? We'll start with my picks. Okay? My picks. Fake news. Stop the count. Okay?
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, you that hurt. I can't believe it. But anyway, we'll go with the running back positions. And my first one
hurts is Jalen. Go ahead.
We knew it was coming, Mike, the nonsense. But anyway, I'll let you have it. All right. But when we go to the running back positions, everybody at full health. I'm still going with Derrick Henry. He hasn't lost a step yet. He played 7-8 games and he was still the top running back while he was out for like the next 5-6 games, So I just think, he's going to come back and be that same guy again. Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor. And also honorable mention, I'm going Alvin Kamara, my guy. Coming back from injury, you got your best receiver back. The team, the offense is going to open up again, and then he's going to do his dynamic things. I love running backs these days that can carry, catch and all. And then also Najee Harris, you're up and coming. I give you 2 years, brother. You're going to be that MVP candidate list because I know Mike Thomas is going to take care of you. Who you got? Which three you got?
Jonathan Taylor, number 1.
Okay.
I'm going to put Najee Harris number 2.
Okay.
And Derrick Henry 3, just because as great as he is, historically running backs with that kind of workload do eventually break down. And I don't know if that's going to be the year, hopefully he stays healthy. But I'd put him 3rd for that reason. And then, you got Cook, you got Eckler on the Chargers, great receiving threat. Yeah, of course, Nick Chubb. Who?
How many you got? Who's your top 3?
Honorable mention. I told you, Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris, and Derrick Henry.
Okay, and who's your honorable mention?
I just said Cook and Eckler.
Okay.
And not Chubb.
Well, the tight end position. Let me hear you.
Tight end. I don't know. No honorable mentions here. Number 1, I was going to put George Kittle, but because you're in a bad mood today, I'm putting Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce 1, George Kittle 2, Mark Andrews 3.
See, Mike, honestly, you just be talking if we're being honest, When I call you out, it's me not being in a good mood. I guess I'll never be in a good mood,
I know
brother.
you're hangry.
I guess I will never be a man who's in a good mood, But anyway, I'll have to highly disagree with you with these picks. Number 1, I'm going with George Kittle. Number 2, we're going with Travis Kelce. And then number 3, we're going with Darren Waller, okay, on the Raiders. Amazing guy. And then honorable mention, Mark Andrews, Ravens. We know you do your thing, okay? But, come on now.
Waller would be 4. for me. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the same top 4. So
Waller definitely 3.
Waller's
He's pushing 2 right now. But Mahomes and Kelsey is something that you can't disregard that. But I think pound for pound, Kittle's a better, player. Kelsey just, he's solid, but Kittle is
Kittle has more raw talent,
frame.
Right? Yeah,
Smaller frame, but raw, can block everything, the passion he plays with and everything. It makes me put him up there. Now we move into the receiver positions, which I think you're going to say some nonsense here as well, too. Let me hear your top 3, brother.
Let's see. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I'm just messing with you.
You're serious, too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, you bought that. You bought that.
No,
Devontae Adams, number 1. Number 1. Cooper Kupp, number 2. Justin Jefferson, number 3.
Okay.
Honorable mention to, man. Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, Jamar Chase.
You better give him one. Give one honorable mention. You're doing too much.
All right, fine. Honorable mention.
You said some wild stuff here, but
Chase.
Go ahead. Chase. Honorable mention to Chase. You wild. You're a wild boy, Mike. You know that? You are a wild.
And I'm the bad guy since I like Aaron Hernandez, apparently.
Hey. Well,
I like the soft guys and the murderers. All right. I get you.
Number 1 after last season and past 5 seasons, I still got to go with Devontae Adams. I don't think he's going to be the number 1 receiver this year. I think Cooper Kupp might be ahead of him. But, based on last season coming into this season and past 5 years, like I said, I'm going with Devontae Adams at 1. I'm going with DeAndre Hopkins at 2. I think people must have forgot, because he got hurt and he's going to be suspended for a couple of games. Then it still didn't lose a step, pound for pound. He was number 1 before Adams and Rodgers just started clicking 2 years ago. And I was like, let's pump the brakes with Hopkins, because you got to understand, besides Watson, he never really got that guy throwing that ball to him. And now he has Kyler Murray, so he's only going to get better. Age like fine wine as well. And then my 3, I'm going with Tyreek Hill. Because, my man, he's unguardable. I don't care if he only runs, deep balls, whatever. You still don't have a man in this NFL that stride for stride can, cover Tyreek Hill. You need a safety. Only guy where I don't care what it is. If it's one play to go, you need a safety to cover him, to help on that corner, Honorable mention, Cooper Kupp. Mr. Super Bowl MVP. I only left you out because you did this greatness, this type of Cooper. Now you set the bar so high for yourself. This is who I know you to be. It looked like last year.
In terms of
it looked like last year was his best year. I get that. That doesn't make him, the best, receiver in the league to me. But now he is top 5.
It's funny because
prior to that, he wasn't pulling those numbers. But
right.
Now, because he is pulling those numbers, he's my honorable mention. He's, I think this year he will be, like I said, the best receiver. But
I just think we have to remember that, Tyreek Hill, as fast and quick as he is, I would argue that he was also a beneficiary of Andy Reid and that design that they have there, because I heard some people say Kupp is a system player to some regard. Hey, he's not super, super athletic, but he's an amazing
watch the
route
games,
runner.
He makes the craziest routes.
Yeah, he's an amazing route runner.
He's not the fastest guy.
Right.
He has great hands and superb routes.
Well, so did Jerry Rice, bro. Jerry Rice wasn't Randy Moss's size, but Jerry Rice was an amazing route runner, impeccably in shape, and you couldn't catch him. He was football fast, he wasn't, that's why he was drafted when he was drafted, So not to compare them too, but that's, if you're a complete receiver, like Cup is, like I think it's fair to put him in the top 3. But you're right, he didn't have that level of production before this
And
past year.
Tyreek Hill is not just fast; he can run routes and he can catch the ball.
And he's clutch. Mahomes would always find him on those 3rd and 8, 3rd and
Mahomes will
5.
throw
Yeah,
the ball wobbling, and Tyreek Hill out of nowhere. That dude is very, very athletic. You know,
but
as
he's
short
small.
as he is, short as he is, he's very athletic, solid guy. You can't get him down easily. You know. Debo Samuel, my guy, I didn't forget you. Jamar Chase, we didn't forget none of y'all. But you know, it's only 3 that could make it, right? And then moving on, these big guys protect these quarterbacks and, you know, make these holes for these running backs to, you know, blow through. And tackles, who's your top 3? Actually, I'll go first because I don't want to not hear his name. Best of the best. My number one, Trent Williams, you know, undisputed. Nobody's even going to disagree. And David
A lot of 49ers
Bakhtiari.
on your list.
Because we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent. You had more 49ers on your list than I did. But anyway, David Bakhtiari, number 2 on the Packers. He got hurt in the last season, but still the man. Tyron Smith for the Dallas Cowboys. He's been doing this for a while, came in the league at a very young age, and he's still killing it at 31 years old.
He's been a little banged up though, right?
He is, but like I said, when healthy, I can't name 3 tackles better than him. He's number 3. He top 3 and he's 3, you know. Your picks.
Stunningly, I agree with your top 2, as I am loath to do. But I agree, Trent Williams, your boy, and David Bakhtiari, helping Rodgers have a clean pocket the last couple of years. 3, I'd say Lane Johnson on the Eagles. Tyron Smith's been a beast. I've recognized how great he is too, but you know, I'm just gonna put him as an honorable mention.
All right.
A couple guys.
And what about guards?
Who you got?
Guards, Quentin Nelson on the Colts. Man, he's a bad boy. Quentin Nelson will, you know, like 2 years ago, definitely the best guard in the league. He got hurt last year, but he still hasn't taken any step back. Quentin Nelson is amazing. And then I'll go with Zach Martin on the Dallas Cowboys. You know, I heard rumors that he's going to be retiring, but I hope not. Or he has one or the other. But still young. I think he's still got it going, you know. And then Joel Bitonio, on the Browns. My man, I didn't even know him to begin the season with, but came out of nowhere. Honorable mention Swerves for Bucks, also helping Tom Brady getting things done in the pocket. Because, you know, Tom Brady been protected past few years that he's been with Tampa Bay.
What's his name?
Swerves. He went, what school he go to? LSU. He went to LSU.
Oh, yeah. I was going to. Isn't Shaq Mason on the Bucks too?
Yeah.
So he was a beast, yeah. But I agree with your top 3. You know, Bitonio, I'd put number 3. I'd put
Bitonio out of nowhere. Like I said, the Browns are amazing, man. And honestly, like I think because past few years they've had worse records, that's how they've gotten to, you know, always get these guards, tackles, you know, these Mal Garrett's type of things, you know, around. Yeah. But Joel Bitonio is amazing, man.
Yeah, I'd put him 3. I'd say Zach Martin number 1. And
you got Zach over Quentin Nelson.
I'm gonna go Zach number 1, Quentin number 2. And yeah, the Browns, you know, as a cohesive unit, I'd say the Browns are, you know, top 3 in the league. You know, Eagles, Packers. The Browns, like, yeah, not only have they, you know, had lower draft picks and drafted well, but, you know, that's why they are able to grind out wins with Baker, despite him being an average quarterback. Like, he's serviceable, but that's why he was, you know, they were able to win some games. Because he did have a lot of time, and this dude was one of the major reasons why.
Absolutely. All right.
Who else we got?
Now to end with the kickers. These clutch guys. Who's your top 3, Michael?
Justin Tucker.
Undisputed. That's the man.
Butker.
Okay, the Harrison Butker's doing his thing.
And the dude on the Steelers. I forget his name. I wrote it down.
Boswell.
Yeah, and he hit some bombs last year too.
Chris Boswell is pretty good as well. Chris Boswell is pretty good. I'll go with Tucker. For sure, I won Harrison Butker. And at 3, I'll go with Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott from Philly. The smallest kicker, but got a big foot. For sure. Jake Elliott been doing his thing, if you ask me. And again, another reason why I think the Eagles are going to have the edge. I think they're always going to be able to push the ball, and they have a, reliable kicker. And then, honorable mention, Robbie Gould, because he is going to be golden this year for the red and gold.
He's a great kicker. He always impressed me with the Bears. He'd be like outside in cold weather, and he would just like, it wasn't that he made the kicks. It was always like right down the uprights every time. Just poof. Robbie Gould, one of the most accurate kickers I've ever seen. Yeah, great kicker.
Great kicker. Nice, line drive whenever he kicks that ball. But other than that, one last thing. Coach of the year. We did everything. We can't miss Coach of the Year.
Who's the Bills coach?
The Bills coach? He was just, I forgot his name.
Who cares? I'm not picking him anyway. I'm picking Nathaniel Hackett for the Broncos. Actually, I can't pick them because they're only going to go like 11-6. So, who am I going to pick? I'm trying to think who's going to win it, not who deserves it. Yeah.
I mean,
Andy Reid. They don't want to give it to Andy Reid. Like, imagine the Chiefs go 13-4. They're going to give it to Andy Reid? No, they're going to give it to like the upstart that wins a division, like the Eagles or something,
Sometimes that's what makes you the best coach because you almost had nothing to cook with.
They're going to use Mahomes against them.
Huh?
They'll use Mahomes against them. They'll be like, oh, you got Patrick Mahomes.
It makes the job easier than...
You know how those awards go.
It makes his job easier than Ron Rivera, who has to deal with Carson Wentz injury prone. Is he going to play all 17 games? You don't know, So, yeah. It makes it hard, but who are you going with?
I'll go with the Bills coach.
Okay.
I forget his name. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. I had no players. I don't know all the coaches.
Yeah, he was ones with Seattle as well. But I'll go with best coach this year, huh?
Sean McDermott.
Yeah, Sean McDermott. Yeah, bald guy. Yeah, Sean. But I think best coach this year. I don't want to go with Mike Tomlin because I just think this year they might miss the playoffs. But I'll go with John Harbaugh.
Oh, I was about to say that.
John Harbaugh from the Ravens. I think he's gonna have his team back and show the league that he's always been that guy. I think this year he wins it for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
and honorable mention, I'll give it to Cliff Kingsbury. I think he's going to do his thing. He's going to be what Sean McVay was last year, except for the Super Bowl, but he's going to be there. I
think that's a good prediction. It might be his time to rise up. I think all of your predictions and comments are very well informed, Leslie, except for your Stafford one. That is it. Other than that, I think you did a splendid job.
I just think you're hurt because you wore your let Russ cook, and I didn't say nothing about him, and I didn't want you to talk about him.
I didn't want you
and
to.
your
I'm just
feelings
messing
are a
with you.
little bit hurt, but it's all cool. It's all good. You know,
I
you
love it.
see why when the season unfolds. Okay. Next episode we should talk about fantasy for sure. Next weekend we should talk about fantasy draft picks, strategies, and things like that. So everybody, stay tuned. Great episode tonight. Thanks
Matthew
everybody
Stafford's
for
gonna be
joining
my
us.
first round pick. Here it is.
I know you're gonna be donating to this league. We're gonna keep our viewers informed about how it's going. I'll let them know your picks as well, and then make sure you don't tell me, "Oh, you fell asleep and it was all the drafted, Mike." I hope you don't say none of that. But wait and see how all of this unfolds. But great episode today. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. Again, I'm your host and my co-host, Michael, Steven, and myself, Leslie. Everybody have a great night.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Go eat.
Now I gotta go eat and get drunk.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink tonight.
Drink to
And
Matt
take care.
Stafford.